How do you find the will to fight back against a world that wants to keep you sedated, average, and stuck in place? Join us for the tools and strategies you need to create a life of abundance, discipline, and high achievement. This is the Tactical Empire with Jeff Smith.
Welcome to another episode of the Tactical Empire. I am here with Sean Ryder. How are you, man?
Oh, what's happening? I should be asking you how you're doing, because yesterday on the critical task, you said you were doing a 40-hour fast this week, but I don't know if you're in it now or that's later for the week.
No, I just broke it earlier, so I just finished. So yeah, been going till this morning.
I'm assuming it was easy for you.
Oh yeah. No big deal. I did it with another guy who's never done one before, and so he was like, "Let's do one." And he was leaving our RV park today, so I said, "Let's do it yesterday," which kind of sucked for him because it was his last night. He could have done whatever and cooked out and done all kinds of stuff with people, but he enjoyed it. So
did he do 40?
He did a little less. He did like 30.
Okay. Well, I mean, hopefully his belly responds better than mine did the first time I did more than 24 hours. Because if he's traveling today, he's going to have to be stopping at some truck stops.
Well, hey man, that's getting the dead cells out of you, cleaning you out.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So fantastic, man. Well, I know we had a great weekly meeting for the Tactical Empire team. We got podcast recordings today. You're going to interview someone for another podcast today. We got a 2-on-1 mentor call with a new guy in our Accelerator program. So we are providing a lot of content, a lot of information, a lot of education, a lot of guidance to people on multiple platforms. We've certainly increased our exposure on the Instagram of the world. So what we want to do today is let people know about our newest program and offering. We feel like this is the one that's going to give people the most bang for their buck, the most value. And I want to talk about it. I want to talk about why we're going that route. And I want to talk about what people can expect as they get into it. It's a 90-day accelerator program. It is 2-on-1 mentorship. Not 2 clients to 1 mentor. It is the other way around. It is 2 mentors to 1 client. It is actually getting on calls, Jeff, me, and brand new people into the Tactical Empire. We are working with people 2-on-1 for 90 days before we actually send them into the inner circle group. So Jeff, why don't you talk about why this program, what it is, why we're going that route here in 2025?
Well, I would like to say it was an epiphany moment for me, but like we started the Tactical Empire 3 years ago, and I had this vision for creating like this men's mastermind community that was going to be doing business together and kind of doing life together, growing together, leveling up together, etc. And we're doing that. Except what I was finding, though, is like, I mean, you're constantly analyzing, is there holes in the game? Like, why are we are we having retention issues? Which we're not really having retention issues. I mean, it's a really sticky group of guys. What I was not frustrated with is probably not the right description, but I want more progress. I want more results. And I want them faster. I want a sense of urgency that people are feeling it. And it's hard to get that energy, right? And so what I did was I was like, oh, I think I kind of built this thing backwards, because I built like the legacy, if you will, as I refer to it now, the legacy mastermind, which is the monthly recurring deal to be in the one-to-many coaching group. But you have to have your legs underneath you and your foundation built to really take advantage of that phase of things. Because I mean, we watched, and like our JVs happening, our partnerships happening, our investing happening. Yes, all that stuff's happening in that group, but the time to user acceptance was longer than I wanted it to be. And I think a lot of that had to do with the fact that we weren't onboarding people in a way that I was very happy with. Because I just had too many conversations with people that are just like, I don't really know what to do. And we're like, there's like 400 courses out there, man. Our back end library is monstrous. But I think that was part of the problem, right? Like it was so overwhelming that we like, because there's no question in my mind how much value we deliver. I mean, we've got fucking like 500 courses back there, legitimately 3 years worth of stuff. Specific courses built on everything under the sun, from marriage to finances to buying real estate to investing in anything. And but I understand as a new person how that could be overwhelming. Like I don't even know where to start. I'm just scratching the surface. I'm just like, I know we need to do infinite banking. I know we need to do these other things, but like I don't know how to put it all together. And so for me, I really just thought that we needed a front end program. And what I wanted to do was really just over deliver on that part of the program so that when they left that 90 days, because that's what we're doing now. The Accelerator Program is 3 months of 2-on-1 coaching. We talk to you every single week. We do calls like almost every week, 9 or 10 of the 12 weeks, roughly, depending on how much you need and how much you like, where you're at on things. And then you have like unlimited text access to us too. And so but the cool thing that we've seen come out of it since the beginning of the year is that like it's getting the results that I anticipated it would. It's allowing us to kind of dig in with that individual client and really expose their holes, if you will, coach them through that, and then build the foundational structure of what they want to be building over the next 3 years. And so in 90 days, they're leaving with, first of all, a lot of growth from that 3 months of accountability and planning and talking and working through all that, all the coaching calls. But they're also consuming the education, they're doing the planning, they're building the structures, and then we're overseeing that as well. So when they pop out the back end and go into the inner circle now, there are no questions on what they're working on, because it's like, oh, we've already built this step 1, step 2. I'm on step 3 and 4 and 5 and ready to go. And so I anticipate long term. I mean, it's March. We've seen 3 months of this at this point. I anticipate long term what you'll see in the inner circle group is a lot more action takers, because they're crystal clear on what they're doing, where they're going, and what they want. And they'll come out of the gate with the ability to work in that one to many environment at a much higher level.
Right. Yeah, I think that was a really good breakdown of it. I mean, from my end, we put a lot of time and energy into building out, like you said, we have 400 plus pieces of content inside of the inner circle, and then our YouTube page, our podcast. So we probably have thousands of individual pieces of content when you add it all up. But we really took some time to dial in the introduction course, right? We wanted to onboard people appropriately. We wanted to get the guys surrounded by the other men in the group so they could be motivated by the critical tasks of the week, the wins every single week. And so we put the most important information in those first 5 modules. And it was like, okay, someone's going to sign up. We're going to put them in here. They're going to do the course. They're going to do the work. They'll do the PDFs, and they're going to have a more clear idea on what needs to happen. And over time, what we found was, some people do that, right? They pay the money, they do the course, they're clear on it. Usually those are people that have been through masterminds before. Then you have the bulk of people who pay the money, do the course, do the assignment, but it's not done correctly. And by correctly, I mean, hey, what's your vision? Oh, I want to, make $150,000 a year in the next 3 years and spend more time with my kids. Like, okay, well, welcome to the club. like that's the floor. That's the fucking floor. Yep. That's not the ideal life. And so we were missing that, because you always had to, whether you saw what people wrote or not, they sent it to you. There were more questions to be had. And then you have the people who may have never been in a mastermind before, so they don't know how they work. They pay the money, they do no work, and then they leave after 30 to 60 days because nothing happened, because they didn't do anything. And you get out what you put in. And so what I've noticed with the people that we put into the Accelerator program already is the content is great. It's what they need. But what we were missing before was, is it what they need right now? And we can get a lot deeper, a lot faster on these 30 to 45 minute weekly, bi-weekly, every 10-day calls. Like you said, it's a 12-week day program, and it's like, hey, we'll do a call every week. But usually around week 3 or 4, I've noticed that life happens, and they're like, hey, I need 7 more days. And we're like, hell yeah, like we'll chat next week. Go take care of 10 million sick kids in your house. Like, that's life. And so what I've noticed is we've been able to put context to the information for the individual people. And that's what group only masterminds miss. And that's what we've been missing. That's not a knock on group masterminds or our group mastermind. We've now allowed people, the permission's not the right word, but it is like, hey, you need to tell us exactly what's going on in your situation. Like, for example, I've talked to a lot of real estate agents, whether it's 3 years ago or now, and we have a real estate agent in the Accelerator Program. And it's like the easy thing that mentors can do for them is like, hey, you're still doing too much of the low level tasks. You need to hire an executive assistant. And on the last call with the real estate agent that's in the Accelerator Program, like, we realized that was on the list of what needs done, but we realized in the discussion that it doesn't need done right now because there's other pressing matters that we need to get through a few hurdles. We need to get through a few milestones that have been on the book, so to speak. It's like, okay, well, let's just notate this on the side. And we're going to come back to this in Q2, mid Q2, probably. And that's going to be the right time for you to delegate these things out. Right now isn't. We're just going to bite the bullet. We're going to keep doing it this way so we can get through these other things that are way more important. And like, for example, another example is I kind of had to laugh because, people come in, they pay a few $1,000s to get started on 2-on-1. And sometimes the tactical thing for them to do is something as simple as hiring a cleaner for their house, right? It's like, hey, I want to make multiple 6 figures and I want to be around my family. It's like, okay, great. What does that actually look like? And then we dive deeper and it's like, dude, your wife's pissed off because the house is dirty. Like, go hire a cleaner. And then like 3 weeks later, a cleaner's been coming every single week for a month and their wife is fucking pumped because they don't have to clean the house. It's like that, you didn't put that in your vision, but that in and of itself was worth the price of admission to get in. So I'm real excited. Like I said, we're early on in this journey, but you and I have done enough one-on-one mentorship over the last 5-6 years with people from different industries. So I feel like 2-on-1, you and I have a lot of the same philosophies, but we do come at things from different angles. Sometimes we use different language. You'll kind of go deeper into like these big picture things with people. And then sometimes I have to pull back and be like, well, dude, I haven't seen your personal finances yet. Like, the way my brain works, I don't know what's going on inside your house. So I think it's a really nice yin and yang. And you and I do a good job at moving people in the right direction. So that's what I wanted to get out into the universe, just so people know that's the new program, the 90-day Accelerator Program. Anything else from you, Jeff?
Yeah, I mean, it really allows us to meet them where they are and identify opportunities for them. The price is not that expensive. I mean, it's a couple $1,000s, a few $1,000s for the first few months. It's not even a recurring fee thing. It's a one and done 3-month coaching program to get you up to speed. And what we're seeing is big wins happen on every level. And because we have the ability to meet them where they are, instead of like a cookie cutter course and saying, hey, just go apply all this. And then they don't understand the timing and it increases the pressure. The issue you're talking about with the client that we have, he's building a house for his family, and that's going to be like 6 more weeks. They're finishing it right now, and that has them at peak pressure. And so like the reality of it was like nothing else needs to happen to that particular client right now until that pressure valve is released. And it will be just based on attrition and time. And so when you talk about juggling all these things like family and kids and businesses and everything else, like oftentimes it's just a simple conversation of like what's causing the most friction right now. And then sometimes it's advisable to take your foot off the gas for a period of time because like, hey, you just need to maintain this for 6-8 weeks. And then at that point in time, you can go as hard as you want to go because everybody will be settled. The pressure will be off this side of things. the big money hemorrhaging will slow down because you're doing something like that phase is done. And so there's a lot to be said for being able to have a simple conversation like that, and then them being able to open up. I mean, you get a lot more out of one-on-one people than you do in a group setting. As much as the group does a really good job of sharing and commiserating together, because of the camaraderie that's been built, it takes time in a group setting to create that camaraderie. And that's part of what we do with one-on-one or the meetups that we do as well, so that we can bring down some of those barriers so that people get more connected, so that the one-on or the group is more effective as a whole once everybody knows each other better. That's why I'm so excited to cap it at 100, because I think it's going to be fucking awesome once we get up to that cap, and then keep the consistency of the same 100 people showing up and seeing each other and meeting each other and connecting on a deeper level. All that's going to do is accelerate the progress of everybody.
Yeah. And people shouldn't be mistaken by what we're saying here about this particular client. Like, oh, he's building a house, so we're kind of like putting the brakes on him. Like, absolutely not. What's happening is he's trying to build this house, get his family to move. He's got 4 kids. He's, the big breadwinner of the family. He's got homes going on the contract. He's got closings. He's got inspections. All the while, he was on the fence about infinite banking. He saw our previous content about infinite banking, but he had a few gaps in helping him get to the point of actually doing the calls, stealing illustrations. And so we took that low-hanging fruit. It was like, hey, go through this one piece of content, come back, ask me any questions. I'll connect you with the agent. We'll get rolling. So as of today, like, he's on the verge of opening a 6-figure family bank, all while trying to build this house. So it's not like we're not making any progress in the content and philosophies that we promote. I mean, he's making moves in our core product, the 7 levels of financial freedom, all while doing his job, right? He's still out there.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's killing it. So like, good clarification for sure, because we're not coasting. We're not taking our foot off the gas. We're just simply saying we're managing our energy right now for him. And that's what it was. He was going to take on more employees right now, and that would have been an output of energy that he doesn't have the capacity for right now. So you need to get narrow in your production alley and your family alley, and like, really, that's all he needs to focus on right now, is just keep on producing the way he's doing it, which is killing it. And we'll delegate later when there's more capacity to do that. And that's kind of what we talked about and talked through with him. So yeah, great clarification there. Good way to point that out. So yeah, man,
I love it.
I'm excited as hell about it.
This might add quite a few more minutes to the podcast, but who is the ideal person for the Accelerator program? And if you aren't sure if you're the ideal person, do our free 4F freedom audit. See where you land on what we view as living the life of freedom and autonomy. And we'll reach out to you based on that score and see how we can help. But the ideal person to come in and work 2-on-1 with us is whom?
It's a person, a business owner generally, or a high W-2 earner, that has a level of autonomy and has reached a level of success within their business, but they feel like they're trading dollars for hours at this point. The money's good. They have a level of success that they've created for themselves, but the business isn't fully integrated into their lives. And it's taking more time away from what's important to them, which they've realized is their family, kids, wives, whatever. And they want a path to stop trading hours for dollars, if you will. And they want the guidance to build that framework over the next few years, because none of us have an aversion to working. So like, that's why the plan says it's going to take you 2 to 7 years. You're still going to have to work. You're still going to have to, most of us want to work. And so like that's also probably who the ideal avatar is. Somebody who's created a level of success, doesn't want to like kick their feet up and go sit on a beach, but they do want to stop trading hours for dollars, stop missing experiences, stop not showing up to coach classes or coach the t-ball games and shit like that because they're busy or they're tied to their phone and stuff like that. So those are the ideal candidates, in my opinion. The people who have worked very hard to get where they're at, they have a level of success, and now they're looking to turn their profits into more time freedom for them.
And it's basically just what I view as being a winning entrepreneur and investor. I think everyone defines winning and success differently, but like I'm very particular on the ideal I view and look for in a winning entrepreneur. I don't want to be a losing entrepreneur. And losing, like you could make millions of dollars, but if your kids don't want to spend time with you and they recognize that you're at work all the time, when they just want your attention, like that's not winning to me. But I know we all have to make money, so like work is just a part of the deal. And so I feel like you and I are good examples. We may not be perfect all the time, but we're good examples of people who have recognized this in and of ourselves. And one myth that I've kind of like been hammering on lately with people is like, you don't need $1 million business to be a millionaire. Like, that's like a misnomer that I just keep coming back to. And I'm like, what are these guys striving for? Right? Like, oh, I have a $20 million steel company. Okay, cool. And then what's your income? What's your stress? What's your health? Like I'm looking at a guy that I respect. He's a great guy, but he's now like, getting to the later stages of like peak life as most people would view it. And he's now like taking tests to like see what else he can do to get his stress levels down. Like he's fit, he's got muscle, he makes great money, he's got a huge business in our area, but he's stressed to where now he's doing these like unorthodox tests to see how he can help himself. And I'm like, man, you're winning in so many areas, yet your stress is through the roof to where you're doing things that I don't see many entrepreneurs needing to do. Kudos to go looking for those things to try and get help. I respect that. Like I don't ever want to get to a point where I'm just stressed out. That's not how I view winning. So if you have had any of those hesitations, if you feel like you're out on an island by yourself, I promise you're not alone, even if it feels like that. The Tactical Empire, the Inner Circle, our Accelerator program will help get you started. What I like about the Accelerator program is we're not shoving you into the group. So you just feel like, hey, like all these guys are so far ahead of me. Oh my God, I don't even know what to write on my critical tasks. Like we're going to take care of that. We're going to teach you the system in the first 3 months. So if you're wondering, reach out to us. We'll do the freedom audit. We'll jump on a call with you, with Jeff and I, and see if we can get you started.
Yeah. I mean, the purpose behind it is to tactically build massive shit that's in alignment with what's important to you while not losing your family and everything else that's truly important. Right. So like, right. I mean, what that looks like is different for everybody, but I mean, we have to set like what that North Star is for us. Maybe it is $20 million business, but for us, we want to go in tactically and build that in a structured way that allows us to focus on what's important to us while building that over time. Because I mean, it's not a race. This is a fucking marathon. We're in it for 50 more years. And so like we got a long time to build the $20 million business if that's what you want. And so it's not as urgent as people think it is, but like you have to prioritize what's important to you and keep those front and center while you build. And that's what we do.
I guess the way I could have said it too was like, if you want to build a 20 million business, be our guest. But it's not the prerequisite to autonomy and freedom, right? All that stuff doesn't come after you hit that number. I mean, I hate cliche quotes, but like we can change the trajectory of your journey through the process that we use with entrepreneur, regardless of how far along you are and regardless of the scale and size of the objectives that you're trying to reach.
It's good. It's good. Guys, join us on the Tactical Empire community on Facebook. Follow us on the Tactical Empire on all platforms, and you can shoot Sean and I DMs on Instagram anytime if you have any questions. Or if you're interested in hopping in the accelerator, just shoot me a DM and we'll get you set up. So have a great day. Kick ass this week, and we'll talk to you soon.